So next week, another big movie drops at the box office. And that is, of course, Margot Robbie's Barbie. It's going to launch directly against Oppenheimer. So you're going to have two big movies out that weekend. However, I think the Barbie movie is probably going to do a little bit better because, one, this movie is selling itself as a comedy. Oppenheimer is a very serious, long movie. This movie, I would hope, is not longer than 90 minutes. But given the current trend, it's probably like 2.5 hours. Why would a Barbie movie need to be 2.5 hours? I don't know. And I don't know if it's 2.5 hours. I'm just saying this is a big problem in Hollywood now. Every movie is over 2 hours. I just don't get why you cannot somehow figure out how to edit those movies down to 90 minutes. I think 90 minutes is the perfect time. That's the perfect runtime for a movie. If you can nail it, make that work, you got gold. 90 minutes, perfect. But Barbie is coming out. It's had some problems, mostly from the people that act in the movie. There was one of the actresses from the movie coming out about a week or so ago talking about how this movie is going to defeat gender and all this weird shit. And it's like, this is supposed to be a movie about a Barbie that comes to life and goes to the real world. I don't think people are looking for deep political messaging in a movie like this, but that's apparently what we're going to get, at least according to that actress. And because of this, the director of the movie came out around July 4th and was doing some damage control. And some interviewer for the Rolling Stone, because of course it was, asked about the feminist themes in the movie and stuff like that. Mattel executives have come out and talked about it, saying this is not a feminist movie. You've got the director coming out now saying this is more of a humanist movie above anything else. Because you can't just have a movie like this. It's got to have feminist themes and political correctness and all of that other shit. And the Mattel executives, they were like, no, it's nothing like that. It's just going to be a fun movie because they see the shit that's going on right now involving Bud Light and all this other stuff. And they don't want to see this movie crash. I'm sure they have an investment in it. So the director goes out, does damage control. And it's like, well, okay. You know, this is nice to see. Like, usually they'll come out and quadruple down. And she's like, no, it's more humanist. It's not a feminist movie. So it's like, okay, well, whatever. Whatever. Well, it didn't take long, but another actor attached to the movie, Simu Liu, I'm sure you know who he is if you watch Marvel movies. He played Shang-Chi, who used to be called Shang-Chi, but for some reason, when the movie came out, his name is now pronounced Shang-Chi. So Simu Liu is out saying that this movie puts the final nail in the coffin of that very heteronormative idea of what gender is. Now, I don't know if this is what the movie is going to focus on. I haven't seen it, like most people. It doesn't come out till next week. I wouldn't doubt that it's full of all kinds of bullshit political messaging in it because Hollywood people just can't help themselves anymore. But I also wonder if this is just another example of Hollywood actors in their automatic virtue signal that they always do. They always come out virtue signal and throw out woke messaging. You know, it might not be representative of the movie. However, now that two actors involved with the movie have come out and done this, I think it's safe to say the movie probably is woke as hell. So the screenwriter asked him about his relationship with Barbie, and he says that he didn't play with them because of heteronormative social culture that he grew up in. And then he started talking about the movie. He says, over the course of the movie, I've been around, worn, played with more pink than I ever thought possible, and it was so great. And it's great to be free to express yourself in all of the ways you feel like you want to, and not to feel like because something is attributed to a certain gender or a certain idea that you can't also do that. That's, I think, what's really struck me about being in this movie, what's evolved in my understanding of Barbie and what it is, and what I hope that an audience will get from it when they watch the movie. And then he starts talking about Power Rangers and how that's always had representation. It's like, what is it? Is this all these Hollywood actors know how to talk about? I do agree with him on one thing, though. He talked about the Forever Red episode, which was really cool. I didn't even watch a lot of this stuff, like Wild Force, but I did come back and watch this one because it had like every Red Ranger possible in it. It was actually pretty cool. So he talked about that. And then they go back to Barbie and start talking about how there's different sizes and shapes and colors of Barbie and all this shit. Like, most of this has nothing to do with the movie. It's about the toy line. But it's the fact that when these actors are asked about these types of themes in the movie, they always start going off in different directions, and they get really like excited to talk about this. And it makes me think that this movie probably is going to have big gender theme stuff. Like, it's going to be a big part of this movie, which instantly turns me off. And I was like on the fence because I thought, well, maybe this will be a really funny movie. That was the whole idea behind like even the thought of me wanting to watch this movie is because there's two things. One, Margot Robbie being very feminine and cute in it, wearing all these hot pink stuff. Like, okay, well, you have a beautiful woman, you know, all femmed out for the whole movie. That's a plus, in my opinion. And then if it's a funny movie, that's another plus. I like a good comedy. But it looks and sounds like to me that that's not really what you're going to get. What you're going to get is an extreme feminist movie that dismantles gender cultural norms, which sounds like a lecture, and I'm out. I'm out. Now, this movie is directly targeting women, so I wonder how this will all play out. Now, I don't think this movie has a massive budget, so it could be all right as long as it makes a little bit of money. It doesn't really, other than Mission Impossible, there's no other real competition for it, because the audience that's going to see Oppenheimer, I don't think would have watched this movie anyway, and vice versa. Though, I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions. So I don't think that they're really going to hurt each other too bad. I think if in any case people will see both. If that was something that was interest to them, they'll go see the other one the next weekend. But, I mean, like I said, I don't know if this is true or not because they've been trying to push back against it. So this could just be a case of actors being stupid again and saying things that affect the box office when they should just talk about how funny the movie is or something like that. They just can't help themselves. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Are you going to see this movie? Do you think this movie is going to be woke? What are your thoughts? Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.